So, the internet is set aflame, weed stocks are through the roof, and the corporate press is hailing this as historic and a big deal. Rescheduling cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3 has been the biggest news to come and hit the cannabis industry since many states' legalization. But what's really happening behind the scenes here, and what's really going to change for cannabis consumers on the ground? So while it's true that a recommendation has been sent from HHS to the DEA in order to reschedule cannabis, it's still up to the DEA to make their final moves, which still could take up until, sometime next year. But in the end, even when that happens, what's really going to change for people? Not much. Moving cannabis scheduling is like many of the moves that this administration has made with regards to the plant. A lot of noise for not a lot of action. In the end, this isn't going to change how many markets operate. The FDA and the DEA aren't going to go after legal markets now that cannabis is more legal, which is something that I've seen online, which is just an insane argument. Unless we get some kind of super right-wing conservative Republican back in who wants to illegalize cannabis, in theory they could use this, but we're a long way from that. And just the idea that we're going to take all these markets and upend them, and that's why all these MSOs are on Twitter taking these victory laps, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. They see the writing on the wall. What this really means is that 280E is going to change, which is the IRS requirement for tax, puts a large tax burden on cannabis businesses, and research proposals that were super difficult to unlock in Schedule 1 illegalization will be a little bit easier in Schedule 3. Outside of that, pretty much nothing's going to change. There's still going to be these state regimes. There's still going to be this kind of illegalization. It's still going to be this wink, nudge. It's kind of illegal. It's kind of not. And who knows what's going to happen with the new Farm Bill up and coming really fast with not a lot of news coming out of Congress about it. Anyway, during the election next year, I promise you that the Democrats are going to parade this out as a huge victory, that we've changed, we've made cannabis more legal, we've made good on our promises, but they haven't. The Biden administration promised to decriminalize cannabis, and this is not decriminalization. This is just another form of criminalization. It doesn't change anything. It changes some numbers, it changes some laws, it changes some little bitty regulations, and so it's going to make the tax burden on giant cannabis businesses smaller, and it's going to make research proposals easier. Outside of that, yet again, nothing is going to change, and that is sad.